off the block. Because he's
Giannis, 1 for 10 from the free throw line.
Start.
Maybe that's a bit of an issue. 31 points for him.
That's a big shot.
It's a close game. James Johnson for 3. And Dallas up by 2. Khris Middleton with the clutch basket.
He took over at the end of the game. He said, Giannis, chill out. We know you don't want to get fouled right now because you're 1 for 10. Let me take over. And he took over, and this was – listen, I think eventually in the season that's going in, but Luka was not happy.
No, he was not. And look at Drew Holiday hawking, even though he makes it. I think, sometimes even when you can make a score work, that gives you a team that's saying, hey, love watching him play. And there's Luka coming down, and boy, if he'd have made this one, I was gone.
One last look, just a bit wide, but it's Giannis in the Bucks, improving
Look at
to
those
9
numbers,
and 4
Chris. 31, 9, and 1, boy.
If he would have made some free throws, that could have been 40.
Yes.
1 for 10 from the free throw line, but still an MVP-like performance for Giannis with the 1 assist. We did see those.
Yes, we did.
We did get to see that. Kristaps Porzingis, second game back. Let's start with him. 15 points, 10 rebounds. I know it's Luka and Giannis, but if we're looking at the Mavericks as being a team that's going to make some noise in the postseason, it's going to be Kristaps. How has he looked in his first 2 games back?
I'm just happy to see him back. The player, he's been through so many injuries. He has just a great fit for a nickname, the Unicorn, because I'm just watching his skill set with his size. Love the way he played in the bubble. I just waiting for he can continue to get a chance to play some meaningful minutes in games, long stretches with Luka. I think this Dallas Mavericks team, when you're watching that skill set from those 2 guys and what the other guys are doing, Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing hard. You have Trey Burke. You have all these guys that I think can fit in. They can have a nice little run. Not saying they're winning the Western Conference, but they can be a problem. Now,
looking at what we saw from Luka Doncic down the stretch and what we've seen from him this season, Channing, I mean, this team is just 6-5 right now. They're playing really good defense coming into this one. What do you think about Luka and does he need to carry this team with triple doubles every night for them to be competitive and to be a team that can win in the postseason?
Absolutely. I think, excuse me, I think for me, Luka needs to carry this team until Porzingis is in shape. And like Smitty said, he's back to the bubble. I thought Tim Hardaway took big time steps this year in his play. And so for me, Luka needs to be the MVP. He came in out of shape. He even said it. So he's working himself back into shape. Carry your team, keep them around 500, and then make sure when Kristaps and you have that push for the end of the season. But for me, the Mavericks, you look at the rest of their team and they're growing, and he's allowing them through his play to grow and have opportunities to make plays at the end of games. But they need to show up for him, or else you're not going to get that pass again. You saw how mad he was that Porzingis shot that rocket off the side of the backboard for a game. But, for me, I like the Dallas Mavericks. I think the West is going to be tough. I think it's going to be between them and the Pelicans for that A spot.
And we saw the frustration from Luka. We did not see that from Giannis because it was Khris Middleton making those baskets at the end of the game. We saw that a little bit during the regular season last year, especially when Giannis missed a game here and there. For the Bucks, moving forward in those clutch situations, is Khris Middleton more of the answer than Giannis at the end of the game?
Yeah, I think so right now. I mean, obviously, we know Giannis is the best player, MVP type. But I think at times when your best player can't make free throws, and I think it's been hard. And I think that's where the Milwaukee Bucks couldn't advance. But I can just tell now, watching Khris Middleton, he is asserting himself more as the guy that to take over. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think right now everybody talks about Giannis and his three-point shot. I would love for him to just keep working on his free throws, getting fouled at the end of the game, and going to the free throw line. And then the next for me is you have a guy in Drew Holiday. Let's not forget, we keep talking about his defense, but Drew is capable of making shots and making plays on the offensive end. He was an all-star in Philly, but I love the way he's playing his role. But Giannis, just keep working on your free throws. Everybody doesn't have to shoot threes.
Well, Khris Middleton can shoot those threes. Same question to you, Channing. What do you think of Khris Middleton in clutch situations for this team? Because we know that Drew Holiday is supposed to be able to handle it in the clutch, too.
Look, listen, what do you think you bring in Drew Holiday? And you want this from Khris Middleton. I think you look at all the greats, they had that extra guy other than Jordan and Kobe. But, you look at LeBron, had Kyrie. LeBron has AD. So either one of them could go. Now, Giannis's skill set to me is for 40 minutes, right? And he's going to get 30. He's going to get these amazing. He's the MVP. But them last 4 minutes, you can't have him with the ball because they're just going to foul him. So for me, you give it to your skill players, Khris Middleton and Drew Holiday. And those guys are all-stars. They're some of the best players in this league. You allow them to grow in that situation. Now, that's not a knock on Giannis at all. They go wherever Giannis goes, but at the end of the game, give it to the guy who can shoot a three, who can make free throws, and make plays for other people in that sense, and not afraid of the moment of going to the free throw line.
Khris Middleton, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And again, those clutch baskets, let's hear from him now. He's an all-star. Remember that.
Just practice that game speed. I think that's the easiest way to put it at. Anything that I work on, be able to find a way to translate it to the game. So they'll be able to work. I'll be comfortable. Nobody be shocked about a move or a shot that I take because they know I practice it hundreds of times.
And your teammates obviously have confidence in you. Coach has confidence in you. How does that compare to the confidence that you have in yourself and how much you believe in yourself?
I think the confidence from my teammates and coaches is the most important to myself. I had a lot of great looks tonight that just didn't fall, but not one person told me, it was a bad shot or, whatever. They just told me, keep shooting, stay with it. That's what I tried to do.
Jim Ozarski.
Hey, Khris. I don't know if it's coincidence or if it's something you look to do, but throughout the season, this game, when the other team has gone on a little bit of a run, either to close within a bucket, maybe take a lead, it seems like more often than not, you're the one who stops that with a bucket of your own. Is that coincidental, or is that something where it's you kind of feel that as well, and it's a chance for you to maybe reset for your team?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think when we all realize the team is on this run, go with something our bread and butter that's going to work. But it could be the ball in my hands, Giannis, Drew, Dante, whoever. Try to get the best shot that we know that we've seen gone in thousands of times. Most of the time, I feel like for myself, it's a pick and roll, coming off and shooting the mid-range or a three or making a play for somebody else. Just something that, settles everybody down, breaks the rhythm or the flow of the other team, and, we get a great look out of it.
You mentioned to Zora practicing at game speed. Is that is that something you can practice? Because I don't know how you can replicate another team in a run or kind of that adrenaline, or is that just kind of an innate thing, experience, 8 years in the league, just doing it, that you're just comfortable in that kind of moment?
I think, it's probably a lot of experience. I don't move too fast, so going game speed is not, running 1,000 miles per hour. It's just, picking my spots, knowing where to attack to, use my size, my length a little bit. I think that's what it's all about, just using my imagination when I'm working on moves, working on my shots, just trying to get a nice flow of rhythm.
Steve McGargy.
Obviously, I had a really tight game tonight. You have Brooklyn coming up, the Lakers coming up. Just this 3-game stretch, how much are you kind of looking forward to seeing where y'all are as a team based on these 3 games?
I'm definitely excited. I think everybody is too. It's going to be a challenge to go against 2 great teams. And to definitely see where we are but early in the season, and figure out, what we need to get better at, what's going to be our strengths, what's our weaknesses and whatnot. But I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge. Win or lose, I think we got a lot to learn and see from these games.
All right, we'll wrap with Eric Name.
There's obviously been times where you guys have played against the Mavericks and Luka's gotten loose and really been able to kind of control the game. What do you think you guys did to him differently tonight that, maybe made it more difficult on him?
I think one was the game plan. And then 2, I think it was Drew. He did a great job, staying to his body. I'm challenging all shots. I think in the past, Bled or whoever's guarding just a little bit smaller. He's a big guy, but to have Drew on him with his size and length and his athleticism too, I think it definitely bothered him some on a little bit of shots with Drew staying solid, being right there underneath him every time. I think that wears on guys as the game goes down.
This isn't the first night Giannis has struggled from the free throw line. What do you say to him on these nights when he's stepping to the line and he struggled all night?
Honestly, not much. I think free throws, is very mental for, everybody. I think we go all say in practice, we've seen them knock free throws 10 for 10 with ease on a daily basis. I think sometimes it's just mental. I go through it too, through my stretches, but I don't say much to him. I don't want to get in his head and have him thinking about 1,000 different things. I think he knows what he needs to do.
The Jazz